Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this secret message card. The finished size is 6x6, but you open the card up like that. As you can see, it's got a fold in the middle there. So if you fold it like that and open the panels there, you get the messages on the inside. Okay, open it as a 6x6, you get that. Close it like that, separate these and pull them apart, you get the messages. How clever is that? No messages there either, gone. This is an amazingly easy card to make. It's the decorating that takes the time. But for this card I have tried to make the decorating as straightforward as possible. But first of all we'll get the card made, and I'm going to change my card stock. This is Sahara Sand and I'm going to be using Smokey Slate. So what you're going to be needing is one piece of Smokey Slate that measures 6 inches by 12 inches, which is 15 by 30 centimetres, and then you need 2 panels of Whisper White Cardstock, which measure 2 7/8 inches by 6 inches, which is 7.2 by 15 centimetres. You will also need scraps of the Whisper White, and ahead of time I have die cut a scalloped circle in Smokey Slate and a scallop circle in basic grey. This one I used the die number 6. These are from the Layering Circle Dies, and that is scallop number 6 and that is scallop number 7. It's just a little bit to try and save us some time. Now with the 6 by 12 inch piece you need to stamp your pattern on both sides. I've done that ahead of time because it is obviously a time consuming thing, but I never forget that I have new crafters watching my videos, so I won't assume that everybody knows how to do just stamping on your card. So I'm just going to do a little bit here. I'm not wasting this because what I will do is I will cut it up afterwards and use it for layers in future cards. But the kind of things you need to look out for when you're stamping all over your sheet of paper. First of all, the stamp, I am using the Flourishing stamp here from Flourishing Phrases, which is a 2 box stamp set. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, and what you need is to be able to go off the edge but try not to allow your pattern to touch each other. Apart from that there's nothing else really to watch out for. Now I've got a scrap of paper underneath. Now as you can see I'm going over the edge there and I'm coming up to the corner. Okay, so there's that one. And then for my second one I'm going to turn my stamp round, going up close to that stamp, but just making sure that I've got a little gap there and I've come off the side again. So for the next one I'm going to turn this sideways and I'm going to be coming around here, just trying to make sure that I don't actually touch anything else. I will get a gap in the middle, but that's fine. Right, and now I'm going to come down to this bit, but because I don't want my stamp going in the same direction all the time, I'm going to take it at an angle like that, Again, I'm coming off the edge. And as I'm working my way along, I don't do one bit and then come back to the other. I do all the bits as I'm going along, just to make sure that I don't finish up in a situation where I can't actually place my stamp and therefore finish up with a very, very big gap. You just eyeball it. There's nothing right or wrong. If you do allow your patterns to touch each other, it's not the end of the world. I don't know whether I did on that one, but it happens, but it doesn't spoil things. Right, so if I can do this one this way. Okay, and now this one I will fit into that like that. It's quite easy to do. In fact, I quite enjoy doing this. It's a bit like doing a jigsaw puzzle. But yes, make sure we keep filling in the gaps as we go. It's very tempting not to do that. Okay, now a little bit down here. So I'm just inking the top of my stamp, just to do that bit. And then I need another little bit here. Right, so that's that top section. There we go. So that's my sheet done like that. I might save that for another project actually. But if you've never tried it before, do have a go. It is fun. Right, so the next thing we need to do, now that we've done that, right, I'll put that on one side for the time being, and that might need it again, I don't know. So this is my 6 by 12 inch piece, and I'm going to score it. So I'm using my scoreboard and my scoring tool, and I will just wipe over mine with my piece of wax paper to help my scoring tool slide nice and easily. And I'm going to score at 3 inches, 6 inches and 9 inches. And in metric that is 7.5 centimetres, 15 centimetres and 22.5 centimetres. I'll put that down. So what we need to do is fold the centre one up to make sure it lines up, and then use our bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. Okay, turn it over. There we go. And then these other two, bring one back this side. Again, make sure it lines up nicely. And then bring this one back. I will give them a firmer score in a moment. Okay, now open them up. Turn it over. And then turn that over as well. Okay, so that's your card. Now we've got to do the cuts in this bit. So you need a pencil, and I'm using my T-square, which is really nice and easy. So first of all, what I'm going to do is on the fold side down here, I am going to measure at 1.5 inches, 3 inches and 4.5 inches. Sorry, I forgot to have a look at that. So if 6 is 15, so that's got to be 7.5. That's got to be 3.5. 3.5 centimetres. Yep. And let's go back. Rewind. That is 7.5. That is 3.75. 3.75 and 7.5, so that's 25, 11, 25. Yep, 11.25 centimetres. In fact, I could just turn that round and do it, couldn't I? Got it sitting there staring at me. So that's about 3.8, 3.75. No, because I'm not going to say that. I might get you even more confused. But if you're metrics, you know you've got to divide that first of all in half and then half again either side. So just bring that back. I need to draw some lines. If you're confident you can cut straight lines, you may not bother doing this, but you know me and straight lines don't get on well together. So I'm lining my T-square up with where I drew that pencil mark, and I'm just drawing as far as that score line. Then I'm going down to the next one, line that up, draw to the score line, down to the third one, line it up and draw down to the score line. I have seen somebody do this, and she used a pair of fancy blade scissors like pinking shears to get the jagged line. I haven't actually tried it, but it looked as if it worked beautifully. The other thing is, I don't know that you actually have to have equal gaps down here. It's the kind of thing that one day maybe I will give it a try just to see. Anyway, what we need to do is we need to cut on these straight lines up to the score line, but don't cut into it. If you do cut wonky lines, they can be visible. Whether somebody would notice it when they're actually looking at the card or not, I really don't know. I wouldn't have thought so, but you may notice it yourself when you're working. Yes, mine weren't particularly straight, so yes, I noticed it. Right, now before I open this up, I'm just going to remove the pencil mark. I've had so many different ideas of what could be done with this. For example, I could colour in some of these flowers and petals on here. Would it make it too crowded? I don't know, but then that's the kind of thing that I really do like playing with. Right, now with your card, with your mountain in the centre here, you take one of your pieces of cardstock, and it doesn't matter which way round you do, as long as these two are different. So let's say we go down the first slit, up the second, and down the third. And then just make sure that's inside there and up against the cut edge. Now this one we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to come up the first slit, and we're going to go down the second one, and then up the third one. Okay, so both sides you've got that and you've got that, and just to make sure it works, you get your mountain in the middle there, close it, and then just separate that. Okay, so you got that, got like the book, and then you can pull it to straighten it up again. So all we need to do now is to decorate it. And the easiest way to do it is to decorate it in situ, otherwise you'll be forever marking what you're doing. Right, so I'm going to be following this, and I don't like using more than about 3 stamp sets when I'm making a video. In this video I'm using about 8 or 9 different stamp sets because I wanted to get different flowers and different sentiments and what have you. So let me start telling you first of all where these flowers have come from. Right. Now that one and that one, that and that are from, sorry, that and that are from Beautiful Promenade, and we'll also be using that one later as well. This one is, I've used 2 of those, and that's from Make a Difference. Obviously I've chosen all photopolymer stamps for this, just to keep life nice and easy. And this one here is this with this 2-step stamping, and this is Varied Vases. Okay, so that's 4 stamp sets that we've used by the time we've done this one. Right, let's get this back. So I'm going to do mine in exactly the same way as I have here. I am using my basic grey archival ink, which is now retired, but you just need a darker grey. You may decide you'd like to use black, but the reason I didn't use black was because I found that these flowers were coming up a bit too dark. So on this one, I've used soft suede ink to do the stamping. So let's see how we get on. Oh, where'd that come from? So first of all, where are you? This one here. Okay, so that's a stamp set, a stamp rather, that I'm using. I will list all the stamp sets and everything in the box below the video, and I will also give all the measurements and scoring and what have you, and of course a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. Now I just turn that one sideways to get the second stamp. Right, that's that one. And then the next one I did was this one. This one was from the Promenade, Beautiful Promenade. Oh, that was over here. And the next one is from the Beautiful Promenade again. And this one I tilted off to the side, didn't I? Just to make sure it all gets in there. Oh, I think I might have slid that. Oh, maybe not. And then the one from, can't remember, Varied Vases. Now this one's got a long stalk on it, which I don't need, so I'm just keeping that tucked up like that. And when I'm inking it rather, not inking it, can you see where, right, okay, if you look through the block there, you'll see that I'm not inking all of it up. I'm just going up to about there. You see my finger? Yep, you can. Okay, so I'm just making that off to the edge of the ink pad. There we go. So now we're going to colour these. Let's get rid of that yet. Now the first one I'm going to do is this, because this is two-step stamping. Right, that's this one. And the easy way to decide which way to do this is, I'm not sure you can see it down there, can you? On one side you can see 4 flowers in a line, slightly diagonal line, but they're right close to each other. That's the side, the flowers that goes on towards the left hand side. And the ink I'm using is Blushing Bride. Now I'm going to have to lean forward a little bit for this. Let me make sure I've got you in camera first. Right. And make sure I've got my flowers the right way round. And I will try not to lean forward too much. You just move that. I hope not, because I think that would mean I would have to restart. No, I'm not going to restart. I'm not happy about that. Can you see what I've done? But there, I've smudged it. What I will do once I've finished, in fact I've got 2 little extra bits there as well. What I will do after the video is I will redo that, but I will cut it out as a circle or something like that so that I can put it on top of it rather than having to redo the whole lot. So that's not the end of the world. Disappointing, but not the end of the world. Now, to colour these in, I'm going to use my marker pens, and this is Granny Apple Green, which I love. It's a really nice bright green without being like fluorescent or, you know, overly bright. So I'm going to go down and do all my leaves first. When I first started doing this card, preparing it for the video that is, I thought I would do the decorations by doing them as things that had to be punched out, circles that had to be punched or dyed or something like that, die cut. But it was taking me so long to do it. I'm pleased with my card, I'll show you before I finish the video. But I thought, my goodness, if I did that for a video, it would take me like 2 hours. So that wasn't an option. So the next idea was to do the stamping direct like this. Disadvantage, as you can see, is if I make a mistake, then it's a big, although it's only a tiny mistake like that, it's a big thing. The consequences are quite great, as in, you know, I'll have to cover it up or something similar. Well, I will cover it up, because the alternative to not covering it up is redoing the complete sheet again, which is quite a lot of work. Right, so we're nearly there. Can you see how I mean that? I mean, this has come up quite dark, even using basic grey. Can you imagine what it looked like when I did it in black? In fact, you can't really see much of the green with these leaves. just a little hint of it. But it's fine once you've got the card finished and you open and you view all of this. I could have done with some little leaves there. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some leaves, and I'm going to either punch them out or fussy cut them, and I'm going to adhere them to cover that bit up. So there's a result. Right, now what else do I need? Blushing Bride to colour my flowers. There's very few mistakes that we can't cover up. So while you're watching me do this colouring, don't forget that during June all my online customers are going to be put in for a prize draw to win a set of the stamping blends that were on offer in the last spring-summer catalogue. And I'm also very pleased to say that they are now available again. We had delivery problems, so they weren't available at the start of the catalogue. But I'm very, very pleased to say they are available now, because they have been very, very popular. Right, I'm just going to leave the centre of these flowers, and I'm going to do them yellow for the pollen. And also, if you shop in my online store during June, please remember to quote that hostess code there. Then that means you'll be entitled to share in the hostess gifts at the end of the month. And we all love freebies. You will also receive a handmade thank you card from me and an envelope that I don't write in, so you can use them, and also a handmade gift which varies from month to month. But it is something specially made for my customers by me. Right, now my yellow is Pineapple Punch, one of our new colours. So just do that in the centre of my flowers there. So that's all my flowers done. Okay, so now I need to do my messages. So I'm going to close my card, open up here, and I'm going to do all of those. Now what I did for these, because I didn't want just one colour, I painted all of these using my marker pens. So I'm going to do that again. Right, let's do this one first. It's Your Day. That was clever, wasn't it? I've already inked these and I can't see what... Oh, yes I can. That's the grey in the middle. Let me just... Yes, it is. Okay. When you first use stamps and you're going to be painting them like I am, some of these... Oops, what was that? Some of these were new when I did this card. So what I find is when they're new and I first ink them, the impression isn't very good. So that was the first time I did it. And then I did it again, a lot better. And then I did it a third time. So that was much better. And the same with the Love. That was the first one I did, the second one, and the third one. So do test out your stamps on a piece of scrap paper, especially if they are new ones. Right, now that I've already done ahead of time, and ahead of time I've already inked these up as well. So I'm just adding more ink onto it. I find it's better when I'm putting more ink onto these when I've inked them and allowed it to dry. I don't know whether it's just my imagination or not, but I think I get a good impression with them. Right, now I'm using Smokey Slate. I'm not worried about the dark grey on this one. Did I say that I used Smokey Slate ink for stamping my design on here? Don't remember whether I did or not. But it was Smokey Slate. Right, because I've been talking, I'm going to huff on this, excuse me, and then stamp it down. There we go. I do like pink and grey together. So there's that one done. So the next one I'm going to do is You're My Everything. So that You're My is going to be in pink. Yep, I can see that's pink. If you tilt your stamps, you can see where you should be painting, where you shouldn't be. You just need to catch the light on it. Okay, so that's the pink. And the grey. Oh, I've got to tell you where these stamp sets came from, haven't I? Right, let me just finish doing this one first and I'll do that. Right, let's huff on that. There we go. Yes, let me tell you where I've got all these from. Right, the Happy Birthday to You is this one from Best Bunny. It's Your Day is that one there, which is from Happy Birthday Gorgeous. Love is from Jar of Love. Is that one there? So where... Oh, and You're My Everything, I think, is from Beautiful Promenade. Yes, Beautiful Promenade. Okay, so that's another 3 stamp sets, so that's 7. Right, next one is Love. Oh, here we go. And we got grey on top, and then we got silver for the line. I just eyeball where the pink stops and the grey starts, because there isn't any kind of definitive line there. Give it a huff. There we go. And then Happy Birthday to You. And I got pink on top. and then the grey. Give that a huff. Okay, so what happens now if we close it together? And there's our pictures. And then on the back, clear. Isn't that clever? So what I did for the front, I did the flower and the butterfly to try and hold that down. So I have already done that ahead of time, but I will do one here with you. And that's what I pre-cut these two out for as well. So I'm taking, this again is from the Promenade, beautiful Promenade. Yep. And this is two-step stamping. And this, I find it's easier to do this one first. And what I have found is I try and misalign it slightly so that I can colour it and leave that little white line in it. I did one where it was all coloured in and did one like that. And I thought, in fact, is that it? This one here. And I didn't think it looked quite so nice without the, come here, without the white in it. Let's put them both together. Now you may be saying, oh my goodness, don't like it with the white. But I thought that looked artistic and that looked a bit bland. So there you go, that's what it looks like. If you make a mistake and you leave a white bit, which is what I try to do deliberately. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to do this with you, because I want you to see the technique I use when I am doing that kind of colouring. So that looks good. Now let me position myself carefully so that you can see what I'm doing without having to watch my head. Now hopefully I've left myself white bits there. Be disappointed if I've done it perfectly. Oh no, that's good. So I'm going to use my Blushing Bride marker pen. And what I do is where I've got my white lines, I do that first with my pen. And I just draw the line around it. So that I know I mustn't go over it. In fact I did, because I've done that all as one and I've missed the line on that one. But never mind, I'm not going to worry too much about that. At least I've still got a bit of a line there. Can you see what I mean? I've coloured over that bit. Coloured over there. Let's move you into picture. That bit there. I've coloured over it. It should have been white. Yeah, never mind. There's another little bit here. And go around that bit. This is what I do in an attempt to make sure that I don't go over the wrong bits. think that's probably okay. So now colour my flowers in. Oh, there's another line there that didn't colour. Didn't draw around. Fortunately, I hadn't gone over it. And where I just get a couple of little lines there, I just do a little bit up. Otherwise I feel that's just too large an area to keep white. But otherwise there you go. In fact, where's the other one that I did do that was ready? I think I used the lighter grey on that. Yes, I did. And I much prefer to have the darker grey. So I'm going to die cut that one. Which is, okay, we can do that. I've got my big shot there. The other thing I did was the little butterfly, and I did that to act as a little anchor to hold the card closed. So I'm going to do that again on the scrap here. And that butterfly is from Painted Glass. I stamped that one there. So that's that one. In fact, I have one stamp here that I don't know where it's from. And that was the little bird, which I used in there. So, let's make that sit properly. I think I will use it. Where's my ink? But I'll have to save the name of it for when I put the details in the box below the video. Amazing amount of stamps that I'm using though, isn't it? Right, now let me follow the colour scheme that I did on this one. So the outside was the basic grey, which did I bring it over? Yes, I did. Oh, that was good. Right, so the basic grey marker pen I'm going to do out on the sides. And the body, I know that I did that in soft suede. And this one gets die cut as well. So that was that. And then the colour of the cardstock was inside. So that's Smokey Slate. Oh, got uncovered there. That's not good. Okay, so this is everything inside. Or at least the boundary around everything that's inside. It's coming up a bit dark. I hope this lightens up a bit. At At least it'll have some pink there to make it look brighter. I did toy with the idea of just making this video sort of 5-10 minutes long by just doing the showing it how to make the card rather than doing the decorating as well. But then I thought there's so very few of these videos on YouTube where it shows they've actually been decorated. Most of the videos do show just how to make the card. But then I thought, no, I'll do it all the way, because there's a stop button if you don't want to watch me doing all of this. If you want to just go off and do your own decorating, what have you, I understand. There we go. So that's my butterfly, unusual colour butterfly, but we don't mind, do we? And for the flower, not the flower, I mean the bird, do I want Smokey Slate? I think I do, don't I? Should we test it? That's always a good idea. Oh, that's not very dark at all. Let's try the basic grey archival. Oh, much better. You see that? Right, let's just make sure I've got him up the right way. Right, if I hold him like that, which way is he? I'll turn it a little bit. Yeah, it's more like coming down, isn't he? Right. I'll do one in each with him coming downwards, but in different positions. And now to go up slightly. And that's the other way to make him go up. You've tipped him upside down. Oh, come on, how difficult can this be? That should be it. Not really up, but he's not down either. Oh, yes, it is up. There we go. So all I need to do is just die cut those two, put them together, and that's it. Sorted. Okay, so move that. Move that. Get my big shot. Right, the butterfly, where's my dies gone? Here they are. The butterfly is from Stained Glass, which is the set that goes with the painted glass paint set, stamp set. But what did I just do with those post-it notes? That looks right. And the flower is from don't tell me I didn't get the flower. That is from... Oh no, because we did it in a circle. That's right, no wonder. So the circle that I used for that, I think that was number 3 of this stitched, shaped. Okay, so that should be... You're in the way now, go on. That's it. Okay. Cool, I was having a little panic then. My system really works because the reason I stopped panicking was I picked up the stamp set and I could see that there was no label on it for a set of dies to go with it. Okay, so that's my butterfly. Pop that on there for the time being. And that's my circle. And that can go on there. Don't need that. Move that out of the way. And get our 2 circles and this. Oh, that goes together quite well, doesn't it? Right, so we want glue on the back of this. Good old Tombow. And glue on the back of this. And then bring our card back. So what I want is to pop that onto there. So what I'm going to do is get Tombow ready, and I am going to put my fingernails in to the grooves and scallops, that one there and that one there. As long as I stay over there, then I'm fine. About halfway. Make sure I don't have any glue showing through. So there's that, and then my butterfly, I just folded him very slightly. And then I got 2 small dimensionals and put them on this side. I'll put him really close. In fact, I think he's overlapping, isn't he? Let's bring this one back, see how close I did it. Right, so the body's right on the scalloped edge there. Then you did it wrong, didn't you? That's better. Right. So make the body along the scallops like that, so that holds it down. Okay, so there we go, there's today's project. Hope you like it. As I say, the card bit of it is actually easy. It really is just a decorating that takes any time at all. So there we go. I'm really pleased with the gold, the pink and the grey. I think that's really lovely. So that's what it looks like inside. That's what it looks outside. So many thanks for joining me today. I will be putting all the measurements and the products in the box below the video. I'll also be putting a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in case you would like to purchase anything. If you do, don't forget to use the HOSTESS code so that you can be part of the VIP online customers. Get a HOSTESS gift towards the end, after the end of the month actually. If you have any comments, please leave them in the box below. I'm always happy to read what you say and to help you out. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, which is normally Wednesdays and Sundays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button, and please give me a thumbs up. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.